Good morning, guys. This is Meks. Um, I'm starting on a new tutorial for a new portrait. This is going to be my last portrait for my portfolio. Um, it's going to be of my son. I have my fan on, so I think I have a few things taped down. So, this is the reference photo. This is a photo of my son. He was about 4 years old here. He's 6 years old now. So I believe this was taken around 2011. By his preschool teacher. I fell in love with the photo. I mean, it's just so, you know, I don't know. He just looks so angelic in it. And, but yeah, I've been meaning to draw this photo for a while now. I just never got to it. But we're going to do it today. And today, I'm actually going to show you how to do line art. So, because I know I usually skip that part of my, my other videos, because it takes a little more concentration for me. And but I'll show you how to do that today, since this one's it's more of a simple drawing than the ones I usually take on. So I figured I'd take the time and show you how to do that, how I do mine at least. But yeah, you can download this reference photo off of my DeviantArt. I did provide a link in the description box. You can just hit the download button, or you can right click and save as, whatever. It's a huge file. It's pretty big. That way you can see all the details. But yeah, print it out, use it as a reference, whatever, for those of you who are drawing along, or want to take a shot at trying to draw this. Like I said, it's more simpler. There's not too many details. I think the mess would probably be doing the hair, and because there's a lot of fine lines in the hair, and he does have some fine baby hair around his face that you can see, highlighted. But yeah, I think this will be a good time to start drawing along if you wanted to draw along. Like I said, it's a simpler portrait. I think you guys will have fun if you try to draw it. But yeah, here we go. Let me take this down. Okay, so I'm just using cheapy sketch paper. It's what I normally use. I did start to draw in my lines, and then I erased it. I'm like, no, I'll just show you, but I did leave the dots there to show my markers. Like I said, it's just cheapy sketch paper, got from here. I like to keep my drawings at 9 by 12, the paper at least, because my portfolio is 9 by 12. But I like to have, the little white border, so that's why I mark them off, and I print out the drawing a little smaller than 9 by 12. What do you want? You want chips? Okay. There you go, baby. Okay, and then after I draw it on the sketch paper, that way I can, do whatever I need to do, erase, whatever, make my mess ups here, and then I transfer it over to my paper. My Arches watercolor paper. I use Arches watercolor, hot pressed, 140 pounds. It's a lot thicker because it's watercolor. And even though the sketch pad says it's a 9 by 12 sheets, they count also the part that's being reinforced by the rings. So when the perforated part, when you rip it off, it's not 9 by 12. It's like less than 8.5 by 12. So I actually have to make little measurements because, as you can see here, the watercolor paper is bigger. So, but yeah. But I did leave the dots on, so that way, you don't have to sit here and watch me trying to calculate my measurements. So first, we're going to go ahead and border off. So I did measure the reference photo from this. I have the height about 7 3/4 inches, and then the width is about 10 3/4 inches. So that gives me a margin of 1.5 you know, 2.5, you know, 1¼ inches total, and then the width also 1¼ inch total as well. So then you just divide that by half for each of them to get each side. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, here's my dot and dot. And I normally use my 2H mechanical pencil, and it's 0.3 millimeters. You can buy the lead and the pencil at like art supplies, or you know, like Michael's or something. They do have them. But yeah, I like to make my line art a little lighter because, you know, you need a eraser or whatever. But for this one, I'll just use a regular mechanical pencil, a 0.5, and it's the regular lead HB. So that way you can, you know, see. Okay, so you want to mark off your borders. And also I want to point out that to invest in a metal ruler, they can take a beating, and they usually keep the straight edge really well, as opposed to like plastic. But yeah, invest in a heavyweight one. Like mine's really thick. It's an Exacto brand, but yeah, it can take a beating, and it's heavy, so you know it'll hold its place, as opposed to the plastic ones that kind of slide. But yeah, I really love this ruler. And try to get one that goes beyond 12 inches. Like here, it's, you know, 1 to 12, and then has this little cushion right here. So that helps a lot too, especially if you're doing 9 by 12s like I do. And there you have it. So you have your border. Okay. So I'm wondering if I can get this in on camera so you can kind of see. Okay, so you know I always say I like to start with the left eye. That's where we're gonna start. We're gonna start with the left eye. Okay. Um, Trying to keep this as comfy as possible. Okay, so I like to measure with my pencil a little bit. So let's see. So about right there, and about the same spot. So it's about right there. Okay. My overhead lamp keeps hitting me in the face. So about that long. Okay. So that's the top edging of his eyelid. Here, I'll make it darker. I'm looking at my video and it's not dark. It's iris. Okay. It's waterline. So what I like to do is I start small and then expand, have a center of focus, and then move outwards. I know some people like to draw, you know, the shape of the face first or whatever. I find that, you know, working from big to small, it's just proportions just don't match up sometimes. And then, you know, you end up having to erase, you know, the outline of the face and, you know, try to meet the proportions. So I found it easier to just go from small to big, for me at least. Okay, so we have that. Those eyebrows is about right here. So I'll draw that line right there. Okay. Baby, I'm being yucky. See if that's close enough. Okay, then we're gonna, if you look right here, there's a shadow right there. I mark off all my shadows and highlights. So here's a shadow right there, so you go. And that's why I think my line art kind of looks comical, because I mark off everything. But for some people that can be confusing, so, and a lot of people like to keep their line art minimal. Me, I like mine as detailed as possible. And I think that's why I don't really reference my photo as often if I have everything marked off. So it's gonna go like that. And he has a highlight right here. So we're gonna mark that off. There's a highlight right there. And there's a highlight right here. Okay. He has a shadow coming this way. And then there's highlights right here. Alright, so work our way to the nose. So let's see. It's about why are you being silly? Hmm? Let's put this right here. There. Some nostrils right here. wiggle. Okay. The shape of his nose. Okay. Move this over. There we go. And he has a little sliver of his other nostril right there. So put it there. Just a little sliver. Very subtle. Okay. He has a highlight right here. And some highlights right here. Okay. Another highlight right here. Actually, this whole area is a little highlighted, so we're going to mark the whole thing. All the way up to right here. And it comes right like this. And it goes about like that. There we go. Okay. So then, alright, now he has shadow that goes all the way up. Goes around that and ends there. Okay. Now right here, it's about there. That's where that's gonna end. Okay. Seems a little high. So it's gonna go on an angle like this. Straight forward. So it's gonna go about right here. And more like right here. So it kind of goes like that. Okay. This is a little too high. Okay, good. So this is the marker where his face should end. So from here to here, yeah, that's where his face should end. Okay, and it goes like that, and this should go all the way up. There's shadow right here. Okay. So now we're working to the lips. Notice how it's really quiet. It has to be really quiet for me to do line art. I know I don't normally like to listen to music, but when I do line art, it has to be quiet. Nostril ends about right there, so I'm gonna go about right there. Yeah, figured I made his nose a little too big. Okay, let me fix this. A little too big. Actually, no, it's actually right. Huh. Maybe it just looks bigger because there's no tonal value in it yet. Okay. Well, never mind. Alright, so we're going to do about right there. About right there. So, this lip curves down. Actually, you know what? Let me finish this area. There's a highlight right there. I forgot to do my highlights and shadows. And then there's a shadow about right there. There you go. Okay, so the lips go about right here.
It's a floppy. So
right there should match up right there. So should match up right here. Okay. Shadow right there. Okay. Actually, okay. So this should end right there. And this should come all the way.
Okay.
There we go.
Shadow
right there. Okay.
Where's me? Oh. Oh, gee.
So let's actually do that. Okay.
Oh, gee.
line right there. Curves down more. Okay, there we go. And this one down. Okay. Has a shadow right there. And like a lighter shadow right there. Okay. The shadow takes over right there. You see a little piece right there. And that's all in complete shadow. Then about right here is where his chin is. Okay. Oh, I think I drew the drawing a little too low. You can see a little piece here, but it's okay. When you put it into your regular drawing, you can always adjust. Come on, so about right there. Okay. So I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see the rest of them. Actually, let's work on those shadows first. So he has a shadow that comes this way, a darker tonal value here. It's a little more highlighted here. Okay. There's a couple of highlights in his lips right there. So we'll mark those off. A little highlight there. His cheeks, because he has these massive chubby cheeks. Okay. So do that. A drop shadow there. Now she goes around right here. He has a highlight about yay big right there. Okay. And then drop that, right? The total value goes, actually this is actually kind of lower. So we go like that. Total value right there. And then it goes up to like about right there. That's good. Okay. More highlight right here. Okay. And so highlight right up there. And one that goes over here. Okay. That's a good size one that goes around right here too. Alright, now we can move on. Okay, so extend this all the way. Sorry, my foot's falling asleep. Okay, so this goes all the way. Okay. Alright, so from this neck to here. It's about right there. Okay. It's about where his shirt's gonna be right there. Okay. About that big. That big. Okay, so that means his neck's gonna be about right there. Okay. That's his ear.
Oh, small.
Alright, so this goes up like this. Okay. He has a highlight right here. Kind of curves in like that. And then a drop shadow right there. Actually, the highlight goes right here.
Yes.
There's another highlight right there. Some more highlights right here.
No more. No, it's fire. No more. No, it's fire.
A little shadow right there. Another highlight right here. Okay.
What?
Highlight right
What?
there. Highlight that kind of goes in like this. Intense highlight there and intense highlight there. Okay. Highlight right there.
Ooh.
Okay. There's a line on his neck. It goes like this.
Ooh. Ooh.
Actually, yeah. Goes like that. Thin one right there. Okay. Now the hairline. Let's see. Um, so he has like kind of like some wispy hair this way. Another one this way. I just kind of like to mark off the hairline. I just draw some straight hairs. You know, whatever. And then you want to mark off his, like I said, the hairline. So right here would be about right there. So about right there. So I kind of just go like this. Just a little space right there. So, yeah. I think he has a little curvy right here. So I'm going to draw that for the tonal value. Just kind of like that, and then like that. Just to mark off my tonal value a little bit. Yeah, I like to mark off, you know, some of the highlights in the hair a little bit. I just kind of zigzag around, you know, just to know where they're kind of at. So some here, some here, some here, some here, some here. So yeah, there you go. There's your line art. So that took what, 40 minutes, which is very, very short compared to my other line arts. They usually take like, ooh, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I had to do one line art that took me like 3 hours. So, like I said, this one's not as detailed, so it's not so bad. And I thought this would be the perfect time to show you how to do my line art, the way I do it. You know, you can choose to do less, you know, shadows and less, you know, patterns on it than me. But because I know it can be confusing because it just looks, you know, actually looks very comical. But I found this way to be more effective for me. Find which way would be more effective for you. And then, yeah, the line art gets easier and easier, you know, as the more you practice. But I'd like to, you know, use it on sketch paper, and then I go and use, you know, like a sunlit window, or if you have a light box, use a light box and, you know, transfer it into, you know, your regular paper that you're going to really draw on. And then, or if you have a graphite sheet, you can use that too, you know, to trace over your line art. But for me, you know, um, this is how I do my line art. I don't know how others do it, um, but if you find that this works for you, then good, great, go ahead and use it. So yeah, here we go. Make sure you can see the lines. I don't think you can on the video. Let's see. There's that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and actually scan this outline and post it on my DeviantArt, so you can also download and trace if you want to, or uh, you know, use as a reference for when you do your line art if you want. But yeah, the reference photo, there's a link right there, and there's going to be a link for this line art as well. So for you to download, for those of you who want to take a shot at drawing this portrait or actually want to draw along with me. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will come back and I'm gonna, you know, put it on my final paper, and then we're gonna start actually drawing, you know, start adding layers of charcoal. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them here on YouTube, or you can message me. All right, thank you.